Okay, so Mega Evolutions came out yesterday and I was able to get neck deep into this new feature. I tested out all of the different mechanics regarding this new feature, and I have a lot of thoughts that I want to share regarding Mega Evolutions. Now, I think that Niantic has a lot of potential here for this new feature, and unfortunately it just seems like Niantic completely failed to stick to landing, and I know a lot of people are really upset about this feature, so I'm going to be talking about that all in this video. Let's roll the intro and jump right into it. And how's it going, everyone? It's me, It's Count here with a brand new Pokemon Go video. Today I'm going to be giving you my review regarding Mega Evolutions, why I think this feature has a lot of great potential, why I think Niantic is missing a lot of great opportunities when it comes to this feature, and just in general, I just kind of want to reiterate some of the feedback that the community has been giving regarding this feature. But in any case, yeah, let's jump right into it. So what did I think of Mega Evolutions initially? Well, I really like the feature. I really think the way that they designed it was really good. The fact that it is temporary, I know a lot of people were hoping that it would be permanent, but in the nature of what Mega Evolutions are, I think they executed that aspect pretty well. To be honest with you guys, I really like the idea of giving your Pokemon a major boost for a limited period of time, but also boosting the Pokemon of your fellow raid mates. I think this creates a lot of cool dynamics for raiding, and especially when it comes to raid days and when it comes to raid challenges, this could be monumental for how people play Pokemon Go moving forward. And then of course, introducing them through special research I think was a really good move. And of course, with special research, there's always a lot of cool things that they could do with it, and they could subtly train you on how to utilize Mega Evolutions through having this sort of quest-based system. So again, I think in terms of gameplay and I think in terms of design, Mega Evolutions are a really good thing. I think Niantic did a really good job here, and what surprised me was the fact that there was very few bugs when it came to Mega Evolutions, because of course when it comes to Pokemon Go and when it comes to Niantic implementing new features, there's generally always going to be a plethora of bugs behind that new feature at launch. But when it comes to Mega Evolutions, it's very clear that they focused on polishing this up before it was released, because I haven't really come across that many bugs, and I know a lot of other players haven't come across bugs as well. So good on you, Niantic, for doing that. Now, something I will point out that I thought was a really cool thing when it came to these new Mega Evolution raids was the fact that it brought back a sense of what raiding used to be. Now, of course, when it comes to the quarantine and the worldwide pandemic, of course, players are trying to be safe and not really go out and raid, and I cannot blame them for that. But when it comes to these Mega Evolution raids, I've been seeing a lot of people just congregating, and yeah, maybe that may not necessarily be the safest thing right now, but it really felt like what raiding was like back in the day when it first came out. Just the excitement behind it. A lot of people were very enthusiastic about going to different raids and looking for different Pokemon out of those raids, and it just felt really good in that sort of sense. Like, they did bring back a little bit of that raiding community feel, and I think that is somewhat of a net positive. But again, people have to be very careful. If you're going out and raiding these Mega Evolution raids, make sure you are doing the most to prevent the spread of this disease. And I know we're in a very specific, very dangerous time right now, so I really have to emphasize that people need to practice caution. Make sure you're social distancing, make sure you're wearing your masks, and yeah, play safe when it comes to raiding. You know, I did a lot of thinking about this whole thing. I really feel like with Mega Evolutions and the fact that they boost up the raid party, I mean, this opens up a lot when it comes to soloing raids or duoing raids. Maybe the raid challenging community will actually be able to have a lot of different options now when it comes to doing solo raids and duo raids. I'm really curious and excited to see what this could do for the raiding community, because there's definitely a lot of people out there who like to go for those raid challenges. challenges, and yeah, this could be a really cool thing for them. There's definitely a lot of cool things with Mega Evolutions that Niantic did really well, and I really like the idea of Mega Candies or Mega Energy, whatever they're calling it. I like the idea of collecting these and using them in order to unlock these Mega Evolutions, as well as use them on a whim. It creates a lot of different strategies, like if you're running out of Mega Energies of one particular Pokemon, then you can use the Mega Energy of another Pokemon that could be very effective for your party, and then you can mix and match as well with different types. So there's definitely a lot of strategy and a lot of cool ways that we could utilize Mega Evolutions for different situations, so I really think that Niantic really did a good job of expanding the gameplay of their game. But of course, the crux of the conversation behind Mega Evolutions is not necessarily with the actual gameplay features and the design of it. It's actually when it comes to how we get that Mega Energy and how we actually unlock some of our Mega Evolutions. Now, this is where I have a huge problem with Mega Evolutions and why I think this was a huge disappointment. So a little bit of background and a little bit of context. In order to get Mega Energy, in order to Mega Evolve your Pokemon, you need to do a buttload of raids, and I mean a ton of raids. As it currently stands right now, just to get the initial unlock of your Mega Evolutions, you need to do about 4 or 5 raids of that specific Pokemon in order to get enough energy in order to unlock that Mega Evolution. And then afterwards, I believe the cost is reduced to about a quarter of what it is to unlock it. So that means if you want to continuously Mega Evolve certain Pokemon, then you need to commit yourself to doing as many raids of that Pokemon as possible. It goes without question that this is a pretty bad and greedy monetization scheme. The fact that all of this content is locked behind a paywall, I think it's going to create a very negative sentiment with the community. Niantic has been on a very slippery slope as of late. I mean, when it came to Shiny Dino and when it came to a lot of the more recent events, Niantic has been pushing a lot of paywall mechanics a lot more lately, and it's coming across as something very negative with the community, and I think this has followed suit. Now, if they were to give us alternate ways to get Mega Energy, I think it would have been okay, but the fact that the only way to get Mega Energy right now is through raids, I think that's a huge problem. And because of that, I'm really sad that something as cool as Mega Evolutions ended up becoming something very negative with the community, and it's mainly because of this whole raid locking mechanic, which is why I believe Niantic did not stick the landing with Mega Evolutions. The fact that this one thing is creating such a negative stir within the community, that means that Mega Evolutions ended up being a net negative with the community, and unfortunately something like this could have been really cool for Pokemon Go, but because of the way they implemented it, because of the raid requirement in order to get Mega Energy, a lot of people are seeing this as something that was detrimental for Pokemon Go, and in a way it kind of is. To be honest with you guys, in order for something like this to be successful, Niantic needed to stick the landing, and they failed to do so. By making it such an egregious, greedy, monetized scheme, I think a lot of players are seeing this as kind of like the straw that broke the camel's back. A lot of players have been struggling to play as free-to-play, and Niantic really hasn't done much to help that sentiment. I mean, when it comes to everything that they've been releasing this year, there's been some sort of paywall, there's been some sort of money-making scheme behind each and everything. Like when it comes to releasing new shinies, when it comes to releasing some Pokemon that players are really desiring, they put a raid requirement behind them, they put an egg incubator requirement behind them, and players are reacting very negatively to that, mainly because before it just seemed like Niantic was able to continuously print money through their game without having to resort to these sort of practices. So I don't know what changed internally recently. I suspect that it has something to do with pressure from publishers and investors, like with the Pokemon Company. That is a company that is a multi-billion-dollar company, and I'm pretty sure that they want to continuously print money by any means possible. So yeah, there's definitely a strong possibility that a lot of this is not even Niantic's doing, but it's due to pressure from all of the puppeteers behind Niantic. So we really don't know. I just think that it's just a very bad sign for the future of this game. I've seen it plenty of times when it comes to free-to-play mobile games. The moment that those games get overly greedy and they tip the scales in a very negative way, yeah, that's when the players start leaving in droves, and that's when players start quitting the game. I mean, for the longest time, there's been so many different issues with Pokemon Go that Niantic has not addressed. Not just with monetization, but when it comes to so many of the game-breaking bugs, Niantic really hasn't made a lot of ground when it comes to this sort of stuff. And then for them to have something like this, I think it's going to be the nail in the coffin for a lot of players just considering quitting this game. So yeah, when it comes to Mega Evolutions, unfortunately, I think it's a mega disappointment. I think Niantic had a lot of opportunities to do something really great with this feature. Again, in terms of gameplay, I think it's phenomenal. I think the idea of having a temporary buff to your Pokemon and your raid party, it is something that is potentially really cool. And of course, we do not know the implications behind Mega Evolutions when it comes to stuff like PvP, but overall, I just feel like this was a really cool feature that Niantic completely ruined by just overly monetizing it. But these are just my thoughts and opinions. I know this is a really hot topic right now, and I really hope that Niantic bounces back and does something really good for the community that will allow the potential for this really cool mechanic to shine. Because yeah, this is a really cool mechanic, it's just unfortunate the way they implemented it, and I really hope Niantic fixes that. But let me know your thoughts and opinions regarding Mega Evolutions and Mega Evolution raids. I would definitely like to know what the community is thinking. Again, when it comes to social media, there's definitely a lot of negative people right now, but when it comes to YouTube comments, I've been seeing a mixed bag, so I'm really curious to see where my audience stands when it comes to Mega Evolutions and Mega Raids. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this video, everyone. I really hope you're being safe, and I hope you're enjoying the game regardless of everything that's been going on, because the game is still fun in my opinion. I just think that Niantic needs to be careful with some of the decisions that they've been making. But yeah, that's gonna be it. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm Count Jinsula, and I'll catch you all later.